Hello and welcome to Property Money Trees Maximising Property Values, the once a month show where I break down the steps of how to recognise, enhance, and then extract the values in property in order to create wealth. Would you like to find out how you can benefit from the steps of maximising property values? This is even if you don't own a property yet or have a deposit. If that's a yes, then you're in the right place to find out. My name is Patricia Faber, and although many know me for my work as a solicitor, on this show you will be getting the benefit of my 30 plus years worth of experience of maximising property values, experience which has given me a net worth in millions. So who might benefit from listening to this show? Literally anyone with an interest in creating property wealth. Welcome back. So last month I spoke about my introduction to open rent, and I thought it was going to be a one-off, but I've gone and done it again. And in all honesty, I think there's something in it for people who are able to navigate open rent and actually save themselves some money. So this year, 2022, I've actually completed on 4 purchases. I've completed 3 refurbs, so I was feeling a little light in the purse. And that's why I thought, I need to look around and save some money wherever I can. And with everyone talking about how easy it is to rent at the moment, if you're a landlord, and how there isn't enough rental stock for tenants, I just suddenly realised that was an opportunity for me, who was not experienced, to actually let my own property myself without too much hassle. So I did it for last month when my tenants moved in on the 26th of September, and I had another flat that came available where my tenants, who were actually doctors, were moving so that they could be closer to their new hospital. And so I thought, do you know what? Why not give it another go? Maybe the first time around was a fluke. Time will tell. So I put my advert onto Open Rent, and this is how it actually read. This fully furnished, interior designed 2 double bedroom flat, which is close to the Lewisham NHS hospital, is in a lovely gated 2000, so that's the year 2000, purpose-built block of only 9 flats. It is only minutes away from Ladywell Station, which itself is only 1 stop away from London Bridge Station, with a parking space, a communal garden, and lots of open land within a stone's throw, as well as lovely neighbours, brackets according to owner and current tenant who is moving due to a job relocation, brackets, why not come and see if it can be your new home? And then after that, I've put an asterisk. Viewings will be conducted this coming weekend, 15 and 16 October 2022. And then I've put double asterisks. Pics were taken circa 18 months ago. So the reason why I put the thing about the pictures was because there had been a few changes. I'd made a few changes in between the time when my photographer had come and taken pictures and when I was actually advertising. Because the last thing you want to do is to give people the impression that you are misleading them, because your photographs don't bear any relation to the property itself. With mine, I think the photographs were still probably about 90% representative, but that 10% is what gave me cause for pause. And I therefore thought I should really just let people know. And I had an amazing response. I had 74 enquiries. So I put the advert in, I think on the Monday, with a view to having the viewings that weekend. No, yes, it was roughly about then, or maybe I put the advert in on the Sunday. It was anyway less than a week to the viewings. And I actually think that if you're going to go on to Open Rent, that might be a good way to actually do things. So you don't just go there every day showing people who ask to see your property. You tell them when you're going to be there, be it one day, be it a whole weekend, whatever actually suits you. And you just build up the number of people that you are happy to see. So very much like I did last month, I had a number of questions that I wanted people to answer, much the same as what I had in the previous month's episode, so I'm not going to repeat them. And that allowed me to whittle down the 74 inquiries to, I think it came to about 29 people that I said I'd actually show the flat to. I actually was hoping to get all my viewings done on Saturday and not have to return there on Sunday. And as it turned out, I just couldn't. I had 25 bookings for Saturday. Oh, it was a long day. And in the end, I just cancelled the Sunday ones, as bad as I felt about that, because I don't like making appointments with people and then not keeping them. But I was so tired, and I'd already had 3 offers, immediate offers, and then I closed off the listing. Oh, and also what I'd done is, I think by Wednesday, I'd actually paused the listing because I was finding all the inquiries a bit overwhelming. So with Open Rent, you can actually do that. So once your advert is live, you can, if you've got enough inquiries, which I thought 74 inquiries just to see a 2-bedroom flat was more than plenty. The person who earned the most of everyone who was inquiring earned £150,000 plus bonuses. People who earn lots of money are looking to rent. And it was just absolutely amazing, the quality of tenants. So in doing this, again, I saved myself £1,427 because my lettings agent charges me 5.5% plus VAT. So that's how much it would have cost me, and how much of my time did this actually take. So placing the advert itself didn't take very long, probably about 30 minutes. Responding to the inquirers, because I had my questions which were automatically emailed to them. Again, that didn't take very long, and then I was all day showing people on Saturday, on the Saturday. So that was one day. So let's say 2 days of my time altogether. Less than 2 days it would have been, but let's just say 2 days. So by devoting 2 days of my time to this, I saved myself £1,427. Now, normally I wouldn't even have thought about it, but like I said, 4 purchases, 3 refurbishments with 1 to go. I just thought, no, I need to kind of like be reining back with the spending of money. And, I love my lettings agent to bits, and they are absolutely superb. And in fact, even after that, I gave them 2 instructions. So they've actually found me 2 tenants this same month. And so I'm still giving them work. But, with these flats, which are, where you're actually letting out the whole flat, and it would work, for HMO rooms as well. I think, Open Rent is actually very, very good. I've seen Open Rent, and I in the past I'd thought, not really my thing, because often the people who advertise on Open Rents have really poor quality photographs there, and it really just it diminishes, I think, the quality of the service itself, if the association with it is people who are not professional, which I suppose is true, because open rent is actually for landlords who want to let their properties themselves, because whether or not you know it, the big portals will not allow you as a landlord to advertise your property for rent. You have to actually use a lettings agent, but open rent allows landlords to actually do this, and you do it through the open rent platform. So it definitely has its pluses, and I think, to be honest, it probably is something that I will use, for my flats going forward, because it's worked brilliantly for me, the last two times that I've done it, and I think, the way of actually bunching all the viewings to 1 or 2 days is actually really good, because you see, not everyone who turns up is going to like your property. But if you are going there every day just to see one person or two people or three people, and they don't like it, you will start to second guess yourself. You will start to question yourself. You will start to doubt yourself. But the way that I've been doing it, which is viewings are just over one weekend, on a Saturday and a Sunday, I have too many people coming to even have time to stop and say, oh, am I doing it right? Or, am I making a mistake? And each time I've done it, I've had multiple offers. So just wanted to say to people, if you are thinking about using open rent, say you need to reduce your spending, during a particular period, like I've had to do, then try it out. I have no financial connection with open rent. It's just that I've used it over the last 2 months, and I have saved myself more than £3,000. So, and money for old rope. Nobody knows my properties more than I do. Nobody knows them more than I do. So, who better to actually show people around? And what I also do when I'm putting stuff on open rent is I don't put everything the flat has to offer in the advert. So when people come round, there's a tiny surprise for them as well. So this last flat, it also has Wi-Fi controlled switches and sockets, which you can, use with Alexa. So that was the lovely surprise for them. So yes, this 2-bedroom flat, again, I advertised it for £1,802 per month. And again, I got exactly that price, with people saying, oh, we didn't realise you were going to let it so soon. Has it definitely gone? Please do consider us if, the person that you've agreed to let it to doesn't pass their referencing, because again, I make absolutely plain that everyone has to pass their referencing, for me to be able to let to them. So, open rent, second time around, and still loving it. If you have any questions, perhaps on open rent, that you think I might be able to help you with, and you're listening to this, near enough at this time, which is autumn 2022, then feel free to reach out to me, and I'll be happy to share my experience, of using open rent with you. But I do think, there is something for it, particularly now where it is so easy to actually let properties. And I'm fairly certain that this flat that I let for £1,802, and don't ask me how I got to that particular figure, I could have let it for more, but I was happy with the 1,802, and that was just it. So there we are, open rent, saving me money. And what is the work involved in letting through open rent? Going to your property and talking to people about your property. That's all it is. That really is. And I had people come, I literally had 15-minute bookings from, oh gosh, when did I start? I think I started around 11:30, all the way through to the evening. I was knackered. But it was so lovely meeting different people. And there's actually a man that I met. Oh, he was actually quite nice. But I didn't let to him because I didn't think the property was actually right for him. And he was actually the one who earned the most money. He was the one 50,000 plus bonuses. Um, so he asked if there was a dishwasher there, which there isn't. And then, was there a microwave? Again, there isn't a microwave there. And he said, ugh. So I thought, do you know, I don't have those things there. You will be disappointed in the end without those things because you want them, and you can go and get somewhere else where those things will be there. And then the other thing that he said, that was he also said something else, and then he told me about how he was suing someone somewhere else, and I just thought, ooh, maybe not for me. Um, you know, but I think he's going to be a friend because we've been communicating since the viewing, and I apologized to him that I didn't let to him. And I just said, you know, I was honest with him. I said, I really don't think that this flat would be right for you. I said, as much as you said you were prepared to overlook, you know, the lack of a dishwasher and a microwave oven, I said, these are things that would niggle. I said, no, I really want my tenants to be 100% happy in my places, and I do. And for that reason, I was very I just didn't feel right about letting to him, and then when he told me about him suing someone else to do with property, I just thought, oh, I don't want to be the next person that you sue for, you know, whatever reason. But you know, he's actually a nice person, and he has found somewhere else. He was always going to find somewhere else. You know, you earn that sort of money, you're looking to rent, you are a catch to any landlord. So he's renting in a new build, which I think is really going to suit his purposes better because it will have a dishwasher and it will have a microwave oven. You know, my flat's usually quite small, and in all honesty, I can't see why people can't just hand wash. Put your dishes in the sink and wash them. But anyway, I guess when you earn 150,000, you don't want to do anything. um, so, so that is one massive plus about using open rent. You get to meet different people, lovely people, and the tenants that I've actually chosen, they're two friends. They are Italian, and they've promised to invite me. Well, maybe I kind of like made them promise to invite me for an Italian meal. So I'm quite looking forward to that. But yeah, you get to meet people, and I think you just get to make new friends. So it's been a very positive experience for me. And then obviously, once you've found a tenant, there are certain things that you've got to do. You've got to do your right to rent checks to make sure that the people that you're actually renting to have the right to rent in the UK, in England. Well, my properties are in England. So I did those checks, and they were absolutely fine. And then regarding deposits, I don't use, like I said in the previous episode, I don't use open rent to take my deposits. So I literally just said to the people that I chose, here are the account details, you know, pay your holding deposit in there. And then I did their referencing, and then they paid, you know, their first month and their main security deposit. And then we just started with all the paperwork. You know, had to give them their gas safety certificate, the EPC for the flat, their how to rent guide. What else did I have to give them? I think that was probably it, because it was just an ordinary flat. So it was just those things. Oh, and the electrical installation certificate report. So all the legal things. I have like a checklist anyway when I'm letting out to new tenants, because I self-manage. So I always do their ASTs and deal with all the legal side of things, you know, post a tenant being found. So yes, again, it's very important to make sure that all of those things are done. And then once they'd paid me their security deposit, again, I really don't waste time with that. I literally protect it as soon as I get the money, and I send them the certificate. They sign it and they send it back to me. And what is important with deposits is that when you serve the certificate, you should also serve the other information that goes with the certificate, because it's the two of them together that make up the prescribed information that we are, as landlords, obliged to give our tenants as far as the law is concerned. So there's no, you can't just give the certificate, because you wouldn't have been giving them the prescribed information regarding their deposits. You have to give them the certificate and the information. So all of those things, if you're going to use open rent and you're not going to use it, a lettings agent, be careful and make sure that you don't actually miss out any of the legal steps. Any questions that you think I might be able to help you with that I've not actually dealt with in this podcast, do let me know. But the long and short of this is that if you want to, and you can, which is an advantage of being small and nimble and flexible, you might be able to use open rent and use it to save some money. Like I've saved £3,000 in lettings fees for 2 properties over the last couple of months. Anyway, so next month I will be talking about a refurb, definitely a refurb, and how to maybe do it, how to do it and cut your costs, how to do it and not spend too much. Is that possible with me? We shall see. Anyway, hopefully you will come back next month, and in the meantime, do take care. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope that at the very least you have found the talk thought-provoking. There will be some bonus scenes being released over the next few weeks, so please do come back. If you enjoyed the show, please do subscribe. In any event, please do rate and review the episode, because it would be great to read your feedback.